Hey guys, Marian Mitchell here. Thanks for joining me for another face painting tutorial. This one is inspired by Kidz R Kool. She did this amazing flamingo, which I want to share with you how I recreated it. Hope you enjoy it. I've just loaded up a filbert brush with some pale pink, and what I want to aim to do is just feel the eyelid round to about here, right to the edge. Do a little swoop underneath the bottom of the eye. While I'm on that pale pink, I've just loaded up a number 6 round brush. Now I just want to start right here, and I'm going to bring my brush right down to make it nice and thick. And then I'm going to swoop it up around halfway across its body and then upward. Now for its face, I just want to bring a curve downward like this. And then from round about up here, right up the top of this curve, I want to bring it around to complete the head. And I want it to meet where that neck starts. I just want to fill that area in. Now I've worked my number 8 small petal brush into the pale pink that I've used here, but I now also want to mix it up with some white just to make it a tad bit more so pale, because I'm going to double dip this into some darker pink for the inner. So nicely loaded out with a baby wipe or a towel, I'm just going to try and work off some of that paint on the tip of the small floral petal brush, so that I have free space for some darker pink. Now I've just worked it into some darker pink that's been sprayed and made soft, and I've just worked my way through it. I'm going to just do a tester on my hand just to make sure I don't have too much paint loaded up. So I'm just going to start from the outer, and I'm going to bring out some nice little petals. And the middle of the brush is going to point to the base of the neck. And now just making some other petals, just staggering them. I'm just going to go around, just going to go over this layer. Just going over. So when there's eyebrows, this is obviously a mannequin, but when we're painting over an eyebrow, what I'll normally do is I'll wiggle the brush to get right through the hairs of the eyebrows. So I'll press down and wiggle my brush just to work it in between all those hairs, those eyebrow hairs. With whatever paint I've got left on my brush, I'm just going over these petals. Now with my number 3 round brush, I've just mixed some burnt orange with some yellow, and this is going to be the beak. I'm just going to do a flick in, a flick down, and I'm going to bring it downward into like a little curve. And then I'm going to meet that up with the bottom of the beak and just fill it right in. Now with an almost watery brush with some white paint on, I'm just going to do some highlights. So you want your brush to be worked into some white. I'm just using some tag white, and I want it to be on the watery side just to give me a slight light effect. So going over the pink will actually drag some of that pink into that watery white, and it will give us some nice highlights. Now just where the beak starts right here, I do a big round circle to be the flamingo's eyes. Nice and large. I've just lined up that same number 4 round brush with some black, And I'm just going to go over the small petals that I've painted on. And I'm going to outline them by doing small curves. Outlining the rest of the flamingo just by using the tip of our brush. For the beak, I'm just going to do a brush stroke from thick to thin, running up the top of the beak, and then I'm going to continue to outline. I'm just going to extend it down just a tad bit and bringing a line up. Taking the pupil right here, right at the middle of this curve, right at the base here, I just want to do a line downward for the legs because I've forgotten all about the legs here. And then from that same spot where we started, downward, and then crossing it over. Just going to do a little round dot here, and now I'm just going to outline that leg. And now for the webbed toes, I'm just going to do some little brush strokes inward, just like that. Now I'm going to give this lovely flamingo a nice turquoise eye. Now obviously if you're in a rush, you can leave this design just like this, or if you want you can step it up a notch by outlining it with some white. Just being careful not to touch that black because you don't want to drag any of that black around with you. The outlining just really makes it pop. Just for the number 4 brush nicely loaded, I'm just going to do some little dots, just a cluster of dots around the flamingo, just to give it some interest and some pretty little, just some stars. Do some little teardrops inward. Just to accentuate the eye a little round curve down the bottom. And there you have a cute flamingo for you to practice. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope to see you for the next one. Thanks for watching. If you got something out of this, make sure that you give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. If you have any face painting related questions or you need something that you need clarified, make sure you comment down below and I'll do my absolute best to share my knowledge with you in the next video. I'm on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Don't forget to follow me so we don't miss each other for the next one. Until next time, happy painting!